I will never forget this. And my eyes were blown away. I'm like, this is what women outside of WWE can do. I wanted to go, I was staying at Brook and I walked a very fine line, and that's who I really was in real life. I never wanted to, I still don't. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm always just, so bubbly and upbeat. And if, I get told, no, it's okay, no worries. I was like, you know what? Let me go to the dark side. Let me just show a side of me that like is so far from really who I am. I'm like, I think I can have fun with this. Like, it feels very validating, but the person that it validated the most was myself, because I never doubted
Hi
myself.
everyone, welcome to another edition of Fats Wrestling. James here, joined today by a very special guest, the TNA Knockouts champion, Ash by Elegance. Ash, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so good. Thank you so much.
Oh no, it's my pleasure. Been watching you work for a while, so getting the opportunity to actually speak to you, it's quite great. How's it been over there?
It's awesome. I mean, going on 2 years leaving WWE and entering TNA in 2 years in January. The amazing, amazing amount of support and the growth with Ash by Elegance. I couldn't have asked for a better run. TNA is a land of opportunity. They believe in their talent. They let you have creative freedom, which I absolutely love. And I feel as though if it wasn't for TNA, Ash by Elegance wouldn't be who she is. I mean, with Tommy Dreamer in my corner, I'm always bouncing ideas off of him. Carlos, the president of TNA, took a chance on me on Heat Wave in WWE, and I took a chance on myself knowing I could bring this home. So it's been a great time.
Oh no, it's definitely to be applauded because obviously, WWE, people leaves, people gets released. We see that, and it's rather sink or swim, really. Like some people, no disrespect, but you don't really hear much from them after the WWE run. But then you got people like yourself who flourishes after the WWE run, and TNA, especially for North American women, has always been the forefront for women's wrestling. So when you debuted last year, did you get that sense when you joined and be like, wow, there's a lot more opportunities for women in this company?
Yes, of course. You couldn't have said it better. You said it perfectly, because I remember um, leaving WWE in September of 23, and honestly, not knowing what I was going to do. All I knew was WWE. All I knew was, okay, there was nothing more than WWE out in this world. I had no idea about independent wrestling. I had no idea about all the signings and the conventions. I knew of, the other promotions out there, but I didn't have a foot in the door. Like, I really didn't know anyone from the companies until Tommy Dreamer called, and that was the best decision ever. I remember having conversations with Tommy, and he's like, "Look, I have watched you for years. I feel as though that you weren't given a fair chance, and I think we can do something here. I really think that you can show everything that you've been trying to show." Because he goes, "I've seen it. I've seen your work. Like, I see that you are so passionate and just want to go." I said, "Tommy, you couldn't be more right. Like, you really are right." And he's like, I'll help you." And I'm like, I couldn't say no. I was like, this is the best thing ever. But I was just kind of lost. And then fast forward, signing with TNA, I go to Hard to Kill in 2024 in Vegas. I make my appearance and I'm watching Trinity versus Jordan Grace. I will never forget this. And my eyes were blown away. I'm like, this is what women outside of WWE can do. Again, I've worked with Trinity in WWE, but seeing what she has accomplished and what she's been able to do since the time she was gone, watching her against Jordan, I was like, this is spectacular. Then they had the X Division match where, the ropes were on the top of the ring with the other women. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I was like, this division of women in this locker room, they are hungry, they are passionate, they're ready to show up and show out. I was like, yeah, this is the place for me. Because also, too, I feel like these women aren't selfish. They want to put on a show and be seen and be recognized and uplift one another. And now, fast forward 2 years that I've been with the company, that goes across the board, not only women, but also in the male locker room, too. It's the talent is unreal. It's next level.
Oh yeah, and TNA, like for many years, they've always, like you said, allowed talent to be creative. And your Ash by Elegance, compare that to your previous, say, incarnation in WWE. It's such a departure from how you was on TV. So you mentioned Tommy. Was it a brainchild mix with the both of you, or was it something you always had an idea of doing, but perhaps you was never able to do that in WWE?
It was definitely a character that I kind of started to create in my head. I wanted to be taken, I wanted to go. I was Dana Brooke and I walked a very fine line, and that's who I really was in real life. I never wanted to, I still don't. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm always just, so bubbly and upbeat. And if, I get told no, it's okay, no worries. I was like, you know what? Let me go to the dark side. Let me just show a side of me that like is so far from really who I am. I'm like, I think I can have fun with this. Like, I remember when my first run in NXT, I was a heel with Tennille and with this total diva character back in the day. And I remember I hated being booed in the beginning. I hated it. I would be like, oh my God, but like I want them to like me because I'm a very likable person. But then I knew I was doing my job, and I'm like, now fast forward so many years later, I'm like, I want that challenge again. I want to go out there and make people, not like me. And I was like, I need this. Let me just try something completely different. And also, too, what I take pride in is if you go to a TNA event and you've never watched wrestling or you don't really know TNA, but you go to a wrestling event, you will get, let's just say for sake of conversation, there's 10 matches on the card. 9 of those matches are going to be high flying, going crazy, all this stuff, which is awesome. I want the kids or the grandparents to not know the storyline and me come out and they're like, oh my God, whoever this person is, I don't like her. She is so into herself. She is so cocky. And there doesn't need to be a backstory from 3 or 4 weeks ago. Immediately, you just know that I don't like her. And that's exactly the feeling you get with the Elegance brand. Yes, some people love to like really get behind this, like stay classy, be elegant, you're trash, all that they just love that. They love to hate me, which is so awesome. It's so awesome. So it was definitely something I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to do it, and Tommy put the finishing touches on everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's called the airport test. I mean, everyone's great in their own aspect in wrestling, but you see you come out and straight away people's gonna be looking, it's like, whoa, who's this person? So like it's been the same in wrestling as long as time, the airport test. So if you're walking through an airport, people's automatically just gonna see it's like, wow, who's that? So it's only a great thing
Yeah,
to stand out.
exactly.
Obviously incredible wrestler, but just having the overall look and package goes a long way.
Right. And I absolutely love to bring that to the ring, whether I have a weapon, whether it be my girls doing something dirty, my personal concierge getting on the mic and just trash talking, whatever it may be, you just automatically know, like, oh, yeah, they're standout, they're different. And that's something that Tommy has always been awesome with is if I wanted to bring, I remember wrestling Jess and I had Rosemary and we brought like garlic cloves and like I had holy water because I was like, I wanted to get rid of the demons. So it just tells a story that necessarily doesn't have to be 100 moves of wrestling. You can digest it, you understand it, and it's easy to follow along. And that's comes from many, many years in WWE with the storytelling that they have instilled in us. And I just wanted to take it to the next level.
Well, we had a big show recently, Slammiversary, and obviously you're wearing the strap on your shoulder, the tag team titles, and former colleagues from with your time in WWE, but also now back in TNA, the inspiration. Obviously, I think they've made it known they will be targeting the tag team titles. But how does it feel having Billy Kay and Peyton Royce back in the company? Because after much fanfare, obviously they took their time away, but the fans seem to be happy. How about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's awesome, but like again, they've been here for how long? And it feels as though that they just want to target their way to the top, which is great. Okay, fine, but it's not going to be that easy. I had to claw my way to get to this. I had to find somebody that I felt was trustworthy enough to have in my corner. So you're not just gonna waltz in here and think it's like that easy to come and capture these, because it's not. I have two very amazing girls in my corner that I am mentoring and I'm helping, I feel as though be the best they possibly can be, and they don't want to let me down either. I have that elegance rule too, that anyone can hold these titles and defend them. With that being said, it's gonna be a tough one for the inspiration. But challenge is accepted.
Cool. And another big return that night. Obviously, it's another former colleague with you from WWE, but people thought it would never happen. AJ Styles return, and even though it might be for one night, fingers crossed there will be a second night. From your time in the TNA locker room and the fans, what was the feeling when AJ finally came out? Can you tell us what it was like backstage?
So it's crazy that fans kind of like can depict little things on like packages or things leading up to like an event, or just somebody saying one word phenomenal in like a tweet or something. And like fans really are witty and they catch on to things. I call him Alan, but AJ was somebody I always looked up to in WWE. If I had any questions, psychology questions about a match, if I couldn't execute a move that I wanted to try, he was always there to help me. He was such a great person behind the scenes too, backstage, family man. And then having this partnership, no other person stands out like AJ Styles over with TNA, because he was TNA. He literally was awesome in TNA, and then going back to WWE, he made his way to the top. Look, he was the cover of a video game. So I felt like that just solidified what TNA is now. Is like, we have the best of the best. We are the best of the best. There's no number two. We are equal with WWE. We are partnered up with the best company, or was the best company in the world, and now we are one. We are equal. So it also allows the fans to tune into TNA every single week, every single pay-per-view, and be like, wow, what's next? And they listen to every single little word. They look at every little package, and it is amazing, because I remember I had to rewatch the package like four times. I'm like, is this really happening? Like, is this happening at Slam? And the place erupted. It was awesome. It was awesome. And he said too, he's like, feels like home.
Oh yeah, it was amazing to see, and like I said, fingers crossed. Obviously, got Bound for Glory coming up, so you never know, there might be a surprise. But and I guess at the pinnacle of your career at the moment, because I'm sure it's going to go higher again. But you know, winning the Knockouts Championship after Heat Wave, 10, 15 years in the business, all this work you've put in, like this will be the final topic. But how did it feel to finally get that validation to be like, wow, people actually believes in me, and I'm now the Knockouts champion?
It feels very validating, but the person that it validated the most was myself, because I never doubted myself. I mean, I did. There was a couple times that I may have wanted to quit, just knowing that like, oh, I can't, I'm never gonna be given that chance or that shot, or I'm missing out on so much in life. But I always knew I had it in me. And I just felt as though like having this title um goes to all my supporters out there. I'm always big on social media and always giving praise to those that are in my corner. And they never stop believing in me. when I was released, they were still in my corner saying, "Don't give up, don't stop, keep going, keep going, keep going." Where the internet is sometimes a very brutal place, and going on and reading comments like, "Oh, she should have been let go a long time ago," added fuel to my fire. And I'm like, you know what? No, it's just because I wasn't given the proper chance or the proper shot. You haven't seen anything that I can do. And I remember doing a couple media podcast interviews and things like that right in the beginning of when I first signed, when it broke out that I had signed with TNA. And people were a little skeptical. They're like, okay, so this is just another superstar, release trying to go somewhere else. But I knew it. Like, I knew it, James, so much inside of me that I was like, no, because they would be like, oh, well, what can we see different? I'm like, you're going to see this different, this different, this different, and this different. I said, but you obviously don't know because I haven't been able to show you. But once I show you, I promise you it's going to be something different. So it's very validating to myself to look back 2 years ago and watch those interviews where I said, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And I actually did do it. And people may have not believed me, but maybe they do now because this just elevated my career so much more.
Awesome. Well, Ash,
Are
it's
you
been
a
absolutely.
believer? Are you a believer, James?
I've been a believer for a long time, like not on just yourself, but also TNA. I've always supported TNA because, like, especially UK fans love TNA, and we can't wait for another Maximum Impact or fingers crossed. But no, it's been lovely to speak to you. Before we go, let's promote some stuff. TNA Plus for everyone. Please subscribe to it, and everyone can
It
catch
is.
old shows, pay-per-views, and upcoming stuff as well, which is great. Obviously, Bound for Glory coming up, so that's going to be awesome. And last one before we go, what can people expect from you going forward?
Definitely, I have the biggest target on my back right now. I brought the title home because I want anybody in that locker room to step up to me, and I will give them a fair and square chance to take a shot at the title because I feel as though anyone that ever doubted themselves or felt like they couldn't do something, I'm the perfect example of never giving up, and I want those girls to feel the exact same way. But this isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Awesome. Sorry, I live near a air base, so you can probably hear some helicopters. So
No, no,
that'll be.
I can't.
Oh, great. Well, that's my cue to go. But Ash, thank you very much, and hopefully we do this again soon.
Thank you so much, James.